This is the first shot of the war. MMA versus boxing. It's the first real shot. We've been real nice to y'all over there on the boxing side, and we've been letting y'all just get off and say, oh, we make more money, and I'll forget you guys, and blah, 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 you know? And so we just been over here just like, poor us, you know, just hating you guys. But now it's the first shot that we getting back at y'all now, and y'all don't like it.
PSA to the boxing world. One of y'all boys got exposed. It is what it is. It was a spar. He can learn from it, he can grow from it. Y'all could easily just leave it at that. All these boxers I'm seeing on here from all different weight classes, hopping on, talking about Bobby Green this, Bobby Green that, come pull up on this, come pull up on that. Bro, y'all are limited fighters. Boxing is a very limited part of what we do. In the real world, out on street fights and all of that shit, y'all are children. Y'all are complete children. We get done any type of way that we want to do, y'all. All right? Limited fighting is what y'all do.
All the boxers are underestimating these MMA fighters. We are the toughest athletes on the planet. You guys have no idea how hard it is to train MMA. You guys have no idea how hard it is to train MMA. We get elbowed in the face, kneed in the face, and we keep going. Man, you got some legends up here. We all soldiers. And we happy that you guys are underestimating us. We ain't scared to lose. I'm just gonna say one thing, one last thing. Boxers be looking like real cowards when we bring up MMA. That's all I gotta say.
I saw James Toney fight Randy Couture. James Toney was one of the slickest, best boxers of all time. He tapped without actually tapping Randy. He just waved at the ref like, save me.
Right.
That's what happens when boxers fight. The baddest man on the planet is a mixed martial arts fighter. Nothing else. In terms of hand-to-hand combat.
Right.
Yeah, the baddest man on the planet is the UFC heavyweight champion. Every time. Unless Francis Ngannou's out there fighting for someone else.
Right.
Then there's a chance that he's the baddest man on the planet.
There's a chance it might be somebody else.
He might beat whoever we have because he's that good. But if not, it's either Tom Aspinall, Francis Ngannou, and John Jones. Right now, those are the baddest men on the planet. Nobody else.
Now, when it comes to MMA versus boxing, I mean, as we know, boxing is a tremendously skilled art. You take the best boxers on planet Earth, put them in with the best MMA fighters, and you make it boxing only, of course the MMA fighters are going to struggle. But you put them in a cage and you let them do whatever they want, or you put them in the street, okay, there's only one person who's going to win. If you were to take 6 superstars from the boxing world and match them with 6 superstars from the MMA world, I know who I'm putting my money on. And here's another sad piece of reality. Some of the biggest stars in the boxing world, the superstars right now, are people like Jake Paul and K.
Have you ever got to know like any boxers on a personal level?
Yeah, I've known a few boxers.
Man, it's so shady.
You guys want shadiest business.
Like guys, they're like most low level boxing fights, like until you get to like 20 fights, 18 fights, generally these guys are paying their opponents to fight. Very, very often. That's why when you go look at a boxing record, it's like, what the fuck did you've lost? You've had 100 fights. You're like 90. You're like 1 in 99.
Right. There's a lot of setups.
But again, it's not that they want the setups. It's hard to get because these fucking boxers like princesses. They know how important their record is. If they take one bad loss and they goes from 16-1,
right,
it's a fucking restart.
On boxing is like he know how to punch. You know, it's not bad like on boxing game. You know. Anybody can box. You can box too, but you never can like wrestle. This is completely different.
We have a nice rapport, all me and these guys, yeah? But anyway, they're presenting bout opportunities, and then the Terence Crawford one came up, 2-fight deal. They were saying, maybe boxing for us. I said, listen lads, I've done this. I've done the boxing. They have to come to me now. I'll do the boxing after. So we just worked out of a 2-fight deal.
Wow.
Mixed martial arts first.
With Terence?
With Terence, and boxing after. I said, he's not going to accept it. I hope he accepts it. He can fucking wrestle. Maybe we'll have to wait for his son to do it. Maybe his son will have the fucking courage to do it. Whatever. Gets on the phone. What's the crack, Terence? It's the Mac Daddy. I got the big fella here. We've got a big deal for you. It's hundreds of millions. 200 million to be exact. Mixed martial arts against me and a boxing one against you. I don't want to be kicked by you. No way. I says, my man, we can box the fucking few months later. What's the crack? Come on. You're mad. You can wrestle. And he just didn't want to know. So whatever, that's fine. I think that's his own thing. I don't know how you couldn't. I don't know how as a man or as a combatant you couldn't want to test yourself.
I was telling my buddy Robin, 16-0 guy, and I was like, "What we spar on Friday?" I'm like, "Robin, what did you do all week, man? Tell me about your fucking week, Robin." He goes, "Well, I ran, I hit pads, I did bag work, I ran." I'm like, "Well, I wrestled, I grappled on fucking Monday, I sparred on Tuesday, I wrestled on Thursday, I sparred on Thursday, Tuesday, and like now me and you are boxing, sir."
Bosses.
Boxing's also easy though.
It's definitely easier.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I see this, it's like boxing is its own world where you play in parameters or rules where all you can do is use your hands. That's all you can do, right? In mixed martial arts, I can take you down, I can break your ankles, I can tear your ACL, I can blow out your popliteus, I can fucking blow out your patella tendon, I can break your arm, and then I can elbow you, I can do flying knees. It's just not the same sport. It's not even on the same fucking level of primal instincts.
Boxers, for what I can tell from this whole situation, and since this whole thing has occurred, are some of the most delusional people out in the world now. I'm convinced of it. This guy is talking about wrapping legs around each other, talking about how MMA, how you go about in MMA and how we fight in MMA. I believe, what do you say was the term you used? MM gay fighters, right? When, ain't these boxers? You talking about how we fight in MMA, you guys literally turn your cheeks to each other and hug each other, waiting for the ref to save you. That happens in boxing. Whenever somebody gets too close or they start overwhelming you, the first thing they do is turn their back to them and give up their back. We're not too fond of giving up our back in MMA, so we don't really rock like that.
Well, listen, if you think about the history of boxing, which has literally been around for hundreds of years, it is an Olympic sport. It used to be taught in schools. Boxing is ingrained in the culture of almost every human being. Everybody knows what boxing is because it was around before anyone on this planet even existed, before they even lived. There's been so many tremendous movies, films, TV shows, documentaries about incredible fighters like Mike Tyson, like Muhammad Ali. I mean, the list really goes on. MMA has only been around for 30 or so years. The first UFC event was in 1993.
Let's go back 30 years. Let's go back to 1993, the first time they set that octagon up. The growth of MMA is exponentially more than the growth of boxing, but that's a completely jaded number to the statement that MMA has surpassed boxing. The idea of MMA, boxing, and professional wrestling having to duke it out, but simultaneously right now they're all under one roof.
And the one thing that stands out to me always, and again, I'll be honest, I was watching the beginning of the Canelo Crawford main card, watched the first couple fights, fell asleep, woke up at 1 a.m, and Crawford was just making his way to the ring. And I went to my bed. My wife's already asleep. I put it back on. Round 1 starts. I watched round 1 and I fell back asleep. But what I did notice is I was sitting there with Christine before we went to bed eventually. And I'm like, when are they going to show a fight? We know how big this fight is. We've been hyped. There's a countdown. There's a bringing, all this information to this constantly. How much do we need to show? These guys are superstars. We get it. We know that already. We're tuning in to watch these fights. Let's either just show the main event and skip these other 10 and 12 round fights. Because, dude, that's my only thing about boxing right now is you watch an MMA fight, first of all, most of them are 15 minutes or less. We don't hype things up that much. We get right to it unless it's a big fight. And we show a little bit. We show just enough to get you intrigued for the fight, and then you're in the fight.
I love boxing, and it can be very exciting if you've got two guys that have come to fight. But if you've got someone that comes to clinch, or two guys that are kind of unsure of one another, then you get a lot of clinching and it slows down there. Yeah. The referee has to keep getting involved. In MMA, it just keeps going. Like, you get stuck in the clinch, someone's gonna elbow you in the face and take you down. So what about the amount of different ways that MMA can finish? It brings an unpredictability to it. See, I would say that the boxing in boxing is more elite than the boxing in MMA, but the technique-wise, like the amount of stuff you have to gather to be a good mixed martial artist, there's a far, far broader spectrum of what you have to learn to become a successful MMA fighter. So, although I agree that the refinement of the boxing is better in boxing, I feel like the broader skill set has to be mixed martial arts.
Look, I'm going to agree with that.
Boxing, it's not as movement heavy as MMA is, because you have to move a lot in MMA because there's so many variables. You've got kicks, elbows, spinning attacks, takedowns. Like I say, you can even jump on your back and drag them on top of you. Whereas in boxing, you stood at a much closer range with your feet relatively still. Now, if you're going to stand like that in MMA, first of all, the first thing any MMA fighter's going to do is just blast your legs, and your feet are planted so you can get taken down so easily.
Look, I'm a huge boxing fan. Boxing's amazing. I love boxing. But we all know if Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury had a fight, that shit would not last one round. There's not a chance in hell. If they had a fight, a real fight, like an MMA fight. Boxing is a sport. MMA is the sport of fighting. It's the hardest fucking thing to do for an athlete. The hardest thing to do is what you did. Become the champion of the world in a tank filled with sharks. I'm not saying boxing's not hard to do. I'm not saying it's but MMA is harder. It's harder. It's more effective. It's the real sport of fighting.
What are your thoughts on boxers? Listen, I had Terrence Crawford, I had Shakur Stevenson on stream recently. They said they could beat you in a fight. Do you know who that is, Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson?
In a fight, they can beat my. I walk the floor with both of them. In a fight?
Well, yeah, they said they could beat you up.
And like in MMA.
Well, I think they said boxing, chat, right?
Listen, if we are sharing this room right now, and we are like me, Crawford, and Shakur, and someone has to make the bet, who do you think is gonna do?
As an MMA guy, I've never felt that we were taking on boxing. And I do remember a time when there was a brief phenomenon where we thought we were going to have to. In fact, it was a three-way battle. It was MMA, exclusively UFC, pro wrestling, exclusively WWE, and boxing, which nobody knows who in the hell puts on. So, but I remember when we were having to talk a little bit nasty about boxing, talk a little bit nasty about wrestling. We thought that we had the same fans that were gonna side with one. And that lasted for a couple of years. That phenomenon lasted a couple of years until we found out, no, it's the same fans and they like them all, for the most part. Like the wrestling fans will come over and watch MMA as well. And then everything kind of settled down.